Hi, and welcome to the first video of factoring. Today we're going to be talking about the greatest common factor and how to actually calculate that. So the greatest common factor of two or more expressions, meaning to say we're going to be taking a look at an expression in particular, and we're going to try and see what two things multiplied together is going to give me that expression. Okay, so we've multiplied factors before to get a product. Now we're going to be reversing that process. So we're going to be going from an expression to the two factors. And kind of this picture over here really is a great picture to indicate which direction we're going with everything. If we're going from two things multiplied together, we call that multiply. However, if we are going in the backwards direction where we have one thing and we're finding two things that multiply to get to it, we call that factor. And so that's a really, really good picture that kind of shows and illustrates that. Now, the greatest common factor of two or more expressions is the largest expression that is a factor of all the expressions. And what do I mean by that? We're taking a look at, say, for example, we're looking at 54 and 36. So we have 54 and 36. And we want to come up with a different factor. So two things multiplied together to give you that number. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to take both of those and we're going to kind of do a factoring tree. So what does that mean is we're going to factor each coefficient into primes. We're going to write all variables with exponents in their expanded forms. So we have 54, which breaks down to 9 times 6, and then the 9 can be broken down to 3 times 3, and the 6 can be broken into 2 and then times 3. 36 can be broken into 6 times 6, and that can be further broken down into 2 times 3 and 2 times 3. Okay, so in each column, and then we're gonna just write them all out into like what if all of these multiplied together. That's going to give us 54. So in each column, we're going to circle the common factors. So if we take a look, we have 2s and 3s, and they're already circled there for us. And so those would be what we would call, we would multiply together to get our common factor, which is 18. Okay, now this is a little bit of a lengthy process, but the more you do, the better you get, and the easier you'll be able to see how to actually get those numbers. So then we have 54, that's going to equal 18 times 3, and then 36 is going to equal 18 times 2. So a couple different ways that we can go about actually finding these. Factor each coefficient into their primes, and write all variables with exponents in expanded form. Okay, then we're going to list the factors, match all the factors in each column, and circle the common ones. Then we're going to multiply those factors. Okay, so 27, if we want to take 27x cubed, that can be broken down into 3 times 7 times 6. Sorry, 3 times 9. My apologies. 3 times 9. Yeah. So we're going to have 3 times 9, and 9 can be broken down into 3 and 3, and then the x cubed can be broken down into x times x times x. Okay, so that's kind of the broken down version there. So 27x cubed is going to be 3 times 3 times 3 times x times x times x. Okay, and again, we're just taking all the primes essentially. So now let's do the same for 18x to the 4th. Okay, so 18 can be broken down into 2 times 9, and 9 can be broken down to 3 times 3, and then we have x times x times x times x. So 18x to the 4th that's going to be 2 times 3 times 3 times x times x times x times x. So now we're going to go ahead and pair together the things that I have the same. So I have 3's, x's, x's, and x's. And that's what I'm going to multiply together to get my GCF. Okay, so 3 times 3, 9. All right, x times x times x. So x cubed. Okay, so that is our GCF. Now, we're going to break down a few more. So 4 can be broken down into 2 times 2, and then times x times y. I shouldn't just say 4, I should say 4x squared y. And then we're going to take 6xy cubed. Well, 6 can be broken down into 2 times 3 times x times y times y times y. So now let's go ahead and start pairing together. So I have 2's in both of them, an x in both of them, and a y in both of them. So we're going to have our GCF to be 2 times x times y. And that's our greatest common factor. Okay, so now we have 3 things here. I'm not going to necessarily do the tree. 2x cubed. So 21 can be broken down into 3 times 7. Yep. Okay. And then times x times x times x. Okay. Then 9x squared can be broken down into 3 times 3, and then times x times x. Okay, and then 15x can be broken down into 3 times 5, and then just times x. So now we're going to take a look at all of them. So 3 is in all of them, and then an x is in all of them. Little hint here. The GCF, whenever you have variables, is going to be the lowest exponent one. Okay, GCF. So 3x. So because x has the lowest exponent, that's why it's just an x. Okay, had x squared been the lowest exponent, then it would have been x squared. Okay, so just kind of keep in mind that little helpful hint there. All right, so now we need to take a look at this next example where we're going to factor out a GCF. So when we're saying what the GCF would be, GCF, we're looking at those are my 2 terms that I'm breaking down, which is 5 times a and 5. So 5 is going to be my GCF. And then essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking my expression and I'm pulling out a 5. So it's almost like I'm dividing both of these terms by 5. And then we're going to pull that 5 out. And whatever you have left over is your factored form, okay? And now keep in mind, 5 divided by 5 is 1. You need that 1 there. It's a placeholder, okay? So that is your factored form, okay? So now let's take a look at 12. And I'm not even going to say x because x is only in one term, not in the other one. So we cannot factor out an x. But let's take a look at 12 and 60. Okay, so if I were to divide 12 by 2, I get 6, which I can also divide by 2, which would give me 3. Okay, 60 I can divide by 2. That gives me 30, which I can divide by 2, which gives me 15, which I can divide by 3, which gives me 5. So the common things here are 2 times 2 times 3. So 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3 is going to be 12. So the GCF here is 12, which means I am going to take the 12x minus 60 and divide it by the GCF, which is 12. And that's going to give me 12 on the outside and whatever I have left. So 12 divided by 12 is 1x, or you can just write x. 60 divided by 12 is going to be 5. Okay, so this is going to be minus 5, and that is our factored form. Now let's take a look over here. Okay, now for examples like these with trinomials, usually the lowest coefficient is going to be what you can factor out. If not, if it's uneven, always try factoring out a 2 first. Okay, so in this particular case, 24 is divisible by 4 and 28 is divisible by 4 as well. So the GCF is 4, which means to say I'm going to have my trinomial. Now I'm going to divide every single term by the GCF, which is 4. So I have 4 out on the outside of the parentheses. That cancels. I have y squared. 24 divided by 4 is 6, so plus 6y. And 28 divided by 4 is 7, so plus 7. And so this right here is the factored form. Okay, 4 examples to go. Okay, so again, same thing here. You look at your lowest coefficient, which is 5, and 25 is divisible by 5. So the GCF is going to be 5, and then I do have x variables in both terms, which means I'm going to take a look at my exponents. The smallest exponent is 2, so that is also going to be a part of my GCF, x squared. So now I'm going to take that 5x cubed, okay, minus 25x squared, and I'm going to divide both of these by 5x squared. Okay, 5 divided by 5 is 1, and then we can go ahead and use our exponent properties and do 3. So basically that cancels, and then that cancels, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. So what do I have left? I have x minus 5. And we want to make sure that we have our GCF out in front, so x minus 5. Perfect. And that is our factored form. Now notice my little trick does not work here. I cannot divide 21 by 9, and I cannot divide 15 by 9. But all 3 of these are divisible by 3. So my GCF is going to be 3. And the other thing, I have an x in every single term, so I look for the x variable that has the lowest exponent, okay, which is just x. So that is also part of my GCF. So now I have 21x cubed minus 9x squared plus 15x. And those are all going to be divided by 3x. Okay, so now we have happily canceling. So I'm going to have the 3x out in front. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And then I'm going to have x cubed divided by x, which is x squared. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then x squared divided by x is x. And then 15 divided by 3 is 5. And then the x's cancel out. So that is what I have left. Okay. So again, if we take a look over here, I can't divide all of these by 8. I can divide all of these by 2, but then I can divide them again by 2. So my GCF is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. They're all divisible by 4. That's the largest number they're divisible by. And then I have m's in every single term. I do not have n's though in every single term. And my lowest exponent m is just m to the first power. So 4m is going to be my GCF. So I have 8m cubed minus 12m squared n plus 20 mn squared. And then we would do the same thing. Now I'm going to run out of time, so I'm not going to finish doing this, but that's exactly